Like 2 or 3 minutes in order for everybody to be in. Tonight we are going to talk about what happens with Brexit and how this affects the loans for the EU students. So basically, if you want to do an intro about this topic, it would be great.
Okay. So I've got a presentation. Do you want me to do the presentation, or do you want me to leave it a couple of minutes?
You can do the presentation, of course, but please wait at least 1 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, okay, we'll wait. Okay.
Because I see there are so many people.
Yeah, there are still quite a few, yeah.
Yeah.
So Brexit is a swear word in this office. We're not allowed to say it because obviously it's quite a divisive thing. Some people voted for it, some people didn't. And obviously it's changed the rules in the UK quite a lot. We are currently negotiating our position, or our government is negotiating our position with the EU. What we know from that at the moment is that it's very, very likely that students won't be included in any kind of future deal. So what we are saying today is based on the information that we have at this moment in time. It will be as up to date as I know. It might not be perfect, but it's all of the information that we currently have at this exact moment in time. The UK has a long history, obviously, with Europe. Coventry University has a long, and we have a lot of EU students. We're probably, I think we're second or third largest recruiter of EU students in the UK, if not the largest. We also have the largest group of Romanian students studying in the UK, as far as I'm aware. A lot of that is down to EDMUNDO. And we're keen to ensure that you, if you want to come to the UK this year, get the opportunity to do so. And this presentation is basically giving you some information, some tools to kind of understand what you need to do and what the process is. I've actually been to Romania. I've only ever been once. I went for the day. I literally flew in on a morning flight, stayed the evening, and then flew out the next day. And I regret it so much because I've wanted to go to Romania for some years. When I studied at Coventry. One of the guys on my course was Romanian. One of the guys that I used to drink with from our office gave me some what he called Romanian firewater once, which was like a distilled version of peaches, I think it was, or something like that. It killed me. So I love Romania. I think it's a great place, and I can't wait.
I think more or less everybody is in.
There's another one, Gabriella.
One request, please. I would like for everybody to have their microphones on mute because it's easier for us to hear each other in this way. If there are questions after your presentation, I will definitely invite you to ask by unmuting yourself, and or just writing everything you want to write in the chat. Okay, and I will do my best to focus on the questions and not repeat them while, let's say, reading them. If you are too shy to, okay, unmute yourself and ask directly the question you have to our guest tonight. I think you can start the presentation.
Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the presentation. If you can't hear me or you don't understand what I'm saying, or I'm talking too fast, please do let me know as well. Don't feel like you can just sit in silence, because you need to, I need to make sure you can hear me, obviously.
I think it's okay. I can hear you quite well.
Okay, that's good. Right. Cheers. Hopefully you can see that now rather than, can you see that? Awesome. So Coventry is a very modern university. So Coventry is situated right in the heart of the UK. It's in the middle of England. This presentation is all about Brexit and the loan system and what we can offer you But I'm also keen to ensure that you know what Coventry has to offer, and run you through some of those little bits of information that we might be doing that other universities might not be doing. Game on is one of our sort of terms that we use. So we have like sound bites, I suppose, who are, but I saw these slides and I was putting them together, and game on is exactly where we're at now, because we are very, very short of time between the UK leaving the European Union. And now is game on. Now is your time to effectively get in as quickly as you can, because otherwise things are going to change for you quite drastically. So the most important thing you must take away from today's presentation and conversation, there are 43 days before the UK leaves the EU, okay? I know that because I've been onto the EU Brexit transition website and checked. I think it's actually 42 days, because I think 43 days works out as the 1st of January. So technically, as most of you will know, on the 1st of January, the UK will no longer be part of the European Union, and there will be some significant changes to the way that EU students can access the student loan system in the UK. I have kept this presentation really short and really sweet because I want you to be able to ask questions. I also don't want to kill you off with too much information, because some of it you'll already know, some of it you just want to check with Edmundo and myself. There is another slide, so don't panic, this isn't the only one. So 43 days, that's the one thing that you must take away. There are 43 days, okay? So as far as we're concerned, what that means for you is that it is all about January 2021. So January 2021 is kind of the last intake where you will not need a visa to become a Coventry University student, okay? If you arrive in the UK before, so before the 31st of December, you will be able to enroll as an EU student, and you will be entitled to EU fees, and you will not require a visa. If you arrive on the 1st of January, literally the day later, you will require a visa, and you will technically be treated as an international student. So I work in international, that's actually my day job. I do EU, so I'm kind of supporting the EU team at the moment. So international students, the way they're treated differently to EU is, one of them is fees, okay, but your fees won't change until a little bit later, but I'll come back to that. The biggest one that will affect you as EU students is work. So you will only be able to work 20 hours per week if you are if you arrive on a visa as an international student, okay? It is more expensive for international students because you have to apply for visas, okay? It's about £700, we think, to apply for a visa. So just to be clear, if you arrive after the 1st of December, after the 1st of January for the course, then the visa process is it's currently £700. It might be that the government changes that nearer to the time, but as we're currently aware, it's £700. If you arrive in the UK on the 31st of December, even at sort of 5 to midnight, you will be able to apply for what's known as pre-settled status. This will effectively guarantee you your home free status. You would get that if you're an undergraduate, starting on mechanical engineering, for example, in January, year 1, you'd get home fees, year 2, year 3, year 4, home fees, okay? You only get home fees for 4 years, okay? We only get loans for 4 years as well. So EU and home students are treated the same. And that loan obviously goes across your whole sort of time that you're studying with us within those 4 years. It's really important to say at this point. So Coventry has 3 intakes every year. It's quite different to other universities. So we have a September intake, a January intake, and a May intake. So our January intake is our 2nd largest. We have over 200 courses on offer. It's a really, really, really good opportunity for you to come and join Coventry. What happens, so in your first year, because I know some of you will be a bit concerned about how that allows you to progress. So if you come to Coventry in January, you will be able to, you'd effectively start in January, but end your course in September. So your next year starts in September and runs then through to July. So you don't end on a January, you end on a September with other students as well. It's called a condensed course. but it's nothing that you need to worry about necessarily. So as I say, it's all about January. We do have a May intake as well. The May intake you will need a visa for, and obviously that then comes with the international restrictions. September 2021, as far as we are currently aware, and this is unlikely to change, there are no student loans for September 2021. Only home students will be eligible then for loans. You can then apply, obviously, as an international student. Fees go to up to about £14,000 at that point. The government basically subsidised or used to subsidise the EU fee down to 9,250, but that subsidy ends basically, and so we have to charge a higher amount because the university is not bringing that income in, and we really need that to invest in our facilities. I was hoping to show you some of those today, but we just have not got the time. And it's really important that we focus on this being January, this being your last opportunity. And we'd really, really like to see you on campus this January. So I'm going to move on. Expect more. I told you there'd be loads of these little snippets, didn't I? So we expect more at Coventry. We expect more of ourselves. We expect more of our lecturers. We expect more of everybody, basically. We probably expect a little bit more of you as well. We really want to engage with our students, really ensure that you do expect more, not just out of your course, but out of life as well. We offer lots of different add-ons to your courses and different things. So in the theme, or on the theme of expecting more, I just wanted to explain to you what Coventry has to offer for January 2021. So we're the largest recruiter of Romanian students in the UK. This is a really, really important point. We have extended our accommodation contracts to allow you to arrive early. Okay, so normally you wouldn't be arriving in the UK until January for a January start. Okay, with Brexit, the swear word, in mind, our accommodation team, our accommodation team that looks after all of university accommodation, has agreed to extend accommodation contracts so that they start in December rather than starting in January. Okay, that's important because you don't want to be living on the streets if you come to the UK. And if you come in January, that's effectively what you would need. Basically, you need to get here. We need to find you somewhere to live, and we need to allow you to stay in that accommodation. So your contract would run from December through to the July or later on in that year. As I said, we have over 200 courses on offer for January and May 2021. May is a much smaller intake, and it's likely that not all of those courses will run. So January, as I keep probably saying, is effectively your absolute sort of last chance saloon. And it's a really important opportunity for you guys, not just to get the loans, but to ensure you get the course you want as well. So hybrid learning, another swear word in our office is COVID. Okay, COVID has completely changed the way our lives work. I probably would have been doing this presentation in front of you. Things have changed, and Coventry has changed with it. Coventry has been changing for years and years and years, but I think the way Coventry has reacted to COVID has been really good. I'm currently on a hybrid course, so I've been on a hybrid MBA for the last 2 years at Coventry. It's for senior leaders within the university, and we learn partly on campus. So we come into campus 3 days out of a 3 or 4 month break, and then we do the rest of our learning online. So we use a platform called Află, which is AULA, if you want to have a look at it. It's a bit like, for want of a better term, Facebook, but for education. So it's basically a learning platform. You can watch videos, you can have lectures, you can talk to lecturers, communicate to lecturers. They put all of the like course information on there. You can have conversations between you as a group on there as well. But you also are able to do online or on campus learning as well. Universities in the UK are not closed. We're currently in what's called the second lockdown, although it's much less restrictive than the first one. The government have said that colleges and educational institutions can stay open. So we are still teaching students on campus. I'm on campus today. It is quiet. I'm not going to lie. Coventry in September through to December is normally very, very busy. It takes you about 20 minutes to get a cup of coffee on campus sometimes. So you have to time it right so that not all the students are coming out of their lectures whilst we're going off for our coffee breaks. And COVID has changed that. Obviously, we've moved some of our courses online, completely online. For EU students, we're really clear that you should be looking at doing a hybrid. So you should be looking at coming to the UK and getting some of your on-campus experience, and then doing some of the online work while you're here as well. I talked earlier about settled status or pre-settled status. I would assume that most of you know what it is. Effectively, pre-settled status is an opportunity for you as an EU citizen to come to the UK and settle here, settled status for as long as it's available. It is free, okay? And I believe you have until the 30th of June if you arrive in the UK to apply for it, but don't quote me on that. My boss told me it takes about 15 minutes to do it, okay? I've never done it. I don't think he has either, but we're told it takes about 15 minutes and you get a response within 5 days. If you come to the UK, you can apply from within the UK. You don't need to apply at home. So if you joined us in January, say you came on the 20th of December, all the Christmas lights are going to be up. There'll be lots of tinsel, lots of very garish Christmas lights around Coventry. But you'd then be able to apply for your settled status later on. I did explain this briefly earlier, but if you start in January on year 1, year 2, year 3 and year 4, if applicable, will all be at your 9,250 cost. It won't be based on the international fee. If you join after, so if you join in May 2021, that will be the same, but you will need a visa. But if you join in September 2021, you may, because the university is yet to confirm, be treated as an international student and therefore have to pay those fees. Okay. I said I would be quick. I don't know how long that took me. I'm sorry if I rushed through anything. I can happily go back if people want me to. I'm going to take a drink there because I haven't used my voice this much in such a long time.
It's okay. Meanwhile, I see in the chat we have
some
certain questions. Yeah, at the very end of the presentation, we have to take a look on them because there are some interesting questions there.
Well, I'm happy to take questions now. If people are, do you want me to? If that's okay with you,
I think we can finish the presentation. I suppose you don't have any more or too many slides.
No, this is it. That's me finished. I don't have anything else.
So that's great because we can actually focus on the questions we have on our chat. And after that, if somebody wants to unmute himself or herself, we can actually talk. I don't know. So the first question we have here is, can you see the chat room?
I can, yes, yeah.
That's
do you want me to read them out or do you want to?
I think you can actually read them.
Yeah, okay.
And explain what you think it's an accurate answer to them.
Yeah, I will try, and I'm going to be honest with you. There will be some questions that I might not be able to answer exactly. That's because I don't know. But I can give you my email, or Edmundo can contact us afterwards, and we can try and answer them. So the first question, and I'm really sorry if I get your name wrong as well. It's just a British thing, unfortunately. I think it's Grigor. If I have pre-settled status and I'm an EU student, I'm eligible to apply for student finance. Yes, that's right. As long as you're in the UK before the 31st of December, you are eligible for student finance. For people with pre-settled status and settled, the fee remains £9,250. It does for both January and May intakes. For September 21, there is no requirement, as far as I'm aware, for universities to keep the fee at £9,250. I know that some universities are doing that. There are some conversations going on as universities as a group, because we need to check the eligibility of like government loans and things, and to check that that is still possible. We will be offering a discount on our course fees, so our actual course fees won't be £9,250. So for undergraduate, we'll be offering a 15% discount on those courses. But we can send you some more information about that afterwards. ONSIM, I think it is, more about the employment rate of EU students afterwards graduating. Okay, I'm not an EU student, but I graduated from here in 2014. Okay, I left in April, I think, and I started a job in the January. Okay, I started university just after the financial crisis, as it were. There were not a lot of jobs, and I was very lucky because I got into a job effectively from something we call an advantage module. So Coventry teaches advantage modules alongside. So if you did aviation management alongside your courses, like an add-on or bolt-on, you effectively do what's called an advantage. And mine was in project management. So I'd spent 3 years doing project management. I spoke about this at the interview that I had, and they were like, "Oh, we're looking for a project specialist, but we didn't. We also want this, this, and this," and it was the reason that I got the job. So I can't tell you the specific employment rate for EU students because the way they are recorded is not. They don't split it by country, unfortunately, or by EU at all. But it's 96% of our students are in further study or employment within 6 months. That was a couple of years ago, and there might be some more up-to-date information, but that's the one that I'm aware of at this moment in time. What I would say is that Coventry has a lot to offer as a city, not just as a university. So Coventry is the home of industry. So there are bikes and cars and all sorts of things were made here up until about 20 years ago. And since that time, a lot of the factories are actually being filled by sort of like different kind of technology companies now. If you're interested in gaming, Leamington Spa, which is about 5 or 10 minutes, well, depends how quickly you drive. Technically, it's about 15 minutes, but you can do it in 10 if you are driving it a little bit fast. Is really big on games technology. They have like I don't know how, but Leamington Spa kind of has created this games tech sort of specific area. And a lot of our students go over there and find employment. Mechanical engineering, so Jaguar Land Rover, who most of you will have heard of, beautiful, beautiful cars. They are by far, Land Rovers are my favorite cars. They are designed in Coventry. One of my friends designs them. He studied at Coventry and he now works at Jaguar Land Rover. We also have engineering roles, mechanical engineering roles and automotive engineering roles, and people can go and study at work at Jaguar Land Rover. JLR is literally 5 minutes from the university. It's actually, you wouldn't even know it's there. So they're currently expanding. They're currently on one side of the road, and they're basically, I think they're doubling, if not almost more than doubling their operations on the other side of the road. They've had to put a brand new bridge in. I know that sounds really sad, but they've effectively had to connect the two places up because they are so big. So there's lots of opportunity for you to get work here. I know some of you will return home as well. A lot of our students get in touch and tell us where they are. That's really interesting for us because we teach global graduates. That's our view of things. We don't expect everybody to return. We don't expect everybody to stay in Coventry. I stayed in Coventry because my girlfriend lived here at the time, basically, and that's why I stayed. But I could have gone and worked elsewhere. There's a lot of opportunity for you to take your degree anywhere. Most countries in the world have heard of Coventry University. It's one of the most internationally recognised universities out there. So there's plenty of scope for you to go and work anywhere you want. So when you're thinking about employment and that kind of thing, don't think restrictively. Don't just think, oh, I want to live in the UK for the rest of my life, because it's great for the 3, 4, 5 years. And if you want to stay here, that's really good. But if you want to go somewhere else, there's plenty of opportunity. Yeah, so I'm going to move on because I've probably laboured that point a little bit.
So basically what you say is that in Coventry you have many opportunities to work. We can go further. We have another question from Ioana.
Yes, so if I arrive in the UK by the 31st of December, my course starts on September 21, will I pay home fees? And will I be able to get a student loan, or do I have to pay international fees? Right, as far as I am aware, as of September 21, it will be international fees, not home fees. Okay. However, the university is yet to confirm whether they will offer UK fees or not, home fees for EU students for that intake. As it stands, it is international fees from September 2021. All I would say on that is watch this space. I genuinely don't know what's happening either way, and we will provide some more information on that in due course. Gregor again, for settled status, we need to have 5 years lived in England. How can we get settled status for free? Okay, so EU settled status is different. So you have to, it's called pre-settled status rather than settled status. So you get pre-settled status before you get settled status. You have to have been in the UK to get pre-settled status. You have to be in the UK before the 31st of December to get pre-settled status. Settled status comes after, as I say, and it's the pre-settled status that's free, not the settled status, as far as I'm aware. I'm sorry if I've confused anybody on that. But it's just to ensure that if you are living in the UK, that you receive the benefits of being a student that you're entitled to. Laura, what if we have a parent living in England with pre-settled status? Would that help me to also get the status? As far as I'm aware, my chat is frozen. It's you as an individual.
I think she has a point there, because we actually researched about this topic, and we did find out that a parent can actually apply for the pre-settled for his child. So basically, okay. I think Laura has chances to obtain the pre-settled status because her mom or dad probably will apply for her on her behalf.
Okay.
So this is a very particular situation, meaning that only those that have parents in the UK can actually do this. Ask their parents to apply for their kids' pre-settled status.
I'm sorry, does it apply to other members of the family or just parents?
From what I know, it's only we are only talking about parents, so no relatives such as cousins or I don't know exactly what else. But we will research it more thoroughly, Tiberiu, and we will definitely come to you all with updates on this topic, because it's a very interesting information, and yeah, I think it would be very useful to you all guys here.
Sorry, I'm having some technical issues with my chat. So I can see the first part of Alexia's question, but I can't see the rest of it.
If you want, I can read it for you.
Yeah, if you could, because mine's frozen. But I am trying to move. I don't know if you can see, but I am.
No problem whatsoever. Alexia is asking us, what are the fees for you students starting at Coventry in September 2021?
Okay, as far as we are currently aware, they will be international fees. There might well be a change later on in the year, but as it stands at this moment, the guarantee for home fees or EU fees is for January 2021 and May 2021. It does not cover September 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other? Sorry, come on.
Yes, there are some questions left. Alexia, maybe these fees will be actually published on Coventry University's website. So basically, we will probably have this info later on. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Danielle is asking us, what are the fees for EU students starting at Coventry in September 2021 again? So basically, we have a repeated question.
Okay.
For settlement status, we need to have 5 years lived in England. How can we get settlement status? I think this question is more or less clarified, but if may I give an answer to this?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I know there is an application And actually, before this meeting, I watched on YouTube some lives with people that were actually applying to pre-settled status, and they filmed everything. So basically, you have also official videos made by those from the Home Ministry from the United Kingdom, but also you have like people such as prospective students that are there and are going to start in January. And basically what they did was to film everything, what they did while applying to this pre-settled status. So yeah, you can find very useful tips and tricks on YouTube. There are vloggers who do this. And I warmly advise you all to research also there, because you will probably find very interesting things.
We are
Elena
told, sorry, just very quickly, we are told that pre-settled status applications is very easy. It takes about 15 minutes. You get a response in 5 days and it's free. The settled status, which I think is the one that you're talking about, is a different process to the pre-settled status. We can't advise on settled status, I don't think, but
okay.
So yeah,
my mistake.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm in the 11th grade, and only recently I started to think about going to university in the UK, and I don't know what's a pre-settled status. I mean, I don't know. I know about the visas, but I don't know about the pre-settled status.
Isabel, how old are you?
16.
16. Okay, so you are unlikely to be joining a university until you're 18, I would think. So at that point, you would be paying international fees unless you were living in the UK as a pre-settled status EU citizen. There are opportunities for you to apply to what's known as a foundation in the UK. So we could potentially look at some of the work that you've already done and see whether you'd be eligible for a foundation. That would be for January this year rather than later on. And then obviously that would allow you to continue on your course as an EU citizen or home fee payer rather than international. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know. I lost my idea. I come back in a few minutes.
It's all right. Yeah, come back.
My question is, I'm in final year in high school in Romania, and if I won't be able to come to the UK until December and obtain the pre-settled status, I won't be able to finish my high school, you know. So what can I do? I mean, if I can't go to UK to get the pre-settled status, can I just obtain it somehow in another way than going to London, I mean, or UK?
As far as I'm aware, you have to be in the UK, living in the UK to get pre-settled status. So you would need to be here. I don't know any further than that, if I'm honest.
So what does it mean to live there? It means to have a home there, or
you would have to have residency here, yeah, or living here, yeah.
And to obtain residence there, I mean, can you obtain it instantly? Residence in?
No, I don't think it works on that. I think you have to like find a place to live, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I have already a place to live there, but
okay.
Can I obtain residency there just going to the city hall or whatever and signing a paper?
Oh no, sorry. By residency, I mean you living here. That's what I mean by residency.
Yeah. Okay, I understand.
I don't know.
My question has been answered. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Can I add something, please?
Yes, of course.
Because I just moved a few days ago here in UK, and for the pre-settled status, I needed only my passport and, let's say, a proof that I've been here for at least 1 day. And I used my flight ticket, and it worked, and that's all.
Welcome, Maria. I hope you brought a coat.
Yeah, thank you.
It's got a bit cold this week. Yeah, as Maria says, it was quite simple, wasn't it, Maria? Very easy process.
Like you said, 10-15 minutes, and I received it like very fast because I applied it with my passport.
Okay,
The
good.
second day I received the confirmation.
Are you joining us this January, are you, Maria?
I'm planning to apply for September 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a work in progress, let's say.
Okay. It would be worth having a conversation with EDMUNDO about whether you want to move that up to ensure that you get the right fees, because you don't want to pay more if you don't have to, is what I would say.
Yeah.
We actually researched a bit this situation. So we know that for pre-settled, let's say you have a parent there, he can apply for you. But if you don't have one, what do you do? So we basically researched a bit and we found out that it's needed to show that you traveled to the UK. This proof would be a flight ticket, okay? Everything related to this trip you might have done to the UK. And of course, this trip has to be done until the end of December, yeah? And you also have to have a contract showing that you had accommodation at least one day. So basically, you need these proofs in order to apply for the pre-settled, of course, the passport, and also these evidences that you were there, you traveled to the UK, you had at least a minimum time, let's say a day, a week, I don't know exactly how much, an address there. So basically you need to do these three things: have a passport, a valid one, a proof that you have traveled to the UK. This can be the plane ticket or the anything related to this trip, and that contract that shows you had accommodation in the UK for at least one day. Yeah, and of course, once you want to do this application, you have to do it until June 2021. I mean the pre-settled application.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
I have never traveled in the UK, like never, and I do not have a family there. So can I do something about that?
Judah, how old are you?
I'm 18. I'm in
Okay.
last year of high school.
You were in last year. So when will you finish your high school?
I will finish my high school in June.
Okay. I think this is probably a bit of a difficult one, because technically, as I say, you have to be living or have to be resident for at least a day in the UK to apply for the pre-settled status. So
I have somebody from the family, not my parents, somebody not really close. Can I speak with?
I genuinely don't think that will be enough. As far as well, based on the information that we've had this afternoon, I would say that it's more likely that it has to be a parent, a mother or a father, or a legal guardian. It's very rare that that extends to cousins and family and extended family.
May I interrupt? I'm in the same situation, and from what I understood this afternoon, you can go to the UK and live there for 1 week, I mean, and obtain residency there and apply for the pre-settled status. And to finish your high school, you can apply for online classes, contacting your high school teacher or whatever, and you can finish high school online, and then go back to Romania, take the final exam, the BAC, and then you can go back to UK and start applying for university and doing all the other things that you need to do. And I think that's the only solution for us high school students in our last year.
So there is no way that if a student in Romania is in the final year of high school, there's no way that we could be eligible for some kind of loans?
By having the pre-settled status, you are eligible for a loan, right?
Yes, yeah.
So yes, you can, but you have to be in the UK by December 31st. And
Okay, but with the pre-settlement, I mean, you can apply for the that status and have it, and you can get a student loan even if you start courses in September 21.
This is where it gets complicated, because I think some of you are looking at coming to the UK for a short period of time to apply for your pre-settled. We can't, I don't think we can advise you on how to do that specifically. We can just give you the information about when the pre-settled starts and sort of ends. My colleagues have just sent me a video, but my computer has frozen. So I don't know whether you are going to be able to see it.
yeah, so the easiest solution I can think of right now is for a student in his final year in high school in Romania is to go until December 31st in the UK and live there until he has to come back in summer the next year to finish the final exam that you have to take in Romania, the BAC, and take online classes for your high school while you are in the UK. So having the pre-settled status and living there for at least, I don't know, 6 months until summer next year, you may be eligible to get a loan. I don't know.
Hello, sorry for interrupting. I want to ask you guys. I have a cousin of mine who lives in the UK for like 6 or 5 years. Can that help me in any way?
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think that will help. No, I think it would have to be a parent. I don't know, because some of these questions are kind of outside of our remit really, but as far as I'm aware, that's not how it works. No, I think the guys that have been suggesting or asking those questions have had a parent living in the UK, not a family or relative.
It helps you because you can go live with him.
And if I live with them, then it changes something, or?
Yeah, you can apply yourself.
You could then potentially, in theory, possibly apply for pre-settled status, yes, yeah.
Because you will have the address from
Yeah.
your cousins.
But you will only be able to apply for a course in January or May with home fees. And as I say, if you return after then you can return after the 1st of January and not require a visa.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, if I have a pre-settled status, the fee for the next year, September 2021, will be the same? Will remain 9,000 or will be grow?
As far as I'm aware, under pre-settled status, the fee for September 2021 would be international fees, not home fees.
Mm-hmm. But
If
I'm still.
Sorry, go on.
I'm still available to apply for tuition fee loans, right?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, but you can't apply for a loan to cover the fees.
Yeah. Okay. Student finance will cover the fees, right?
No, student finance ends for EU citizens in August 2021.
Yeah.
And what were the intakes? What dates were
So we have 3 intakes. So it's September with the one that's just passed. We then have a January and a May intake. The university technically also runs other intakes throughout the year. So Coventry is made of, Coventry University is a group, okay? So we have Coventry University, we have Coventry University London campus, and then within that we also have Coventry, CU Coventry, CU Scarborough, and CU London. So there are other intakes throughout the year that we could offer you, but it's probably better off speaking to Edmundo about your specific sort of criteria, because some of those intakes will suit some people better than others.
May I ask if you have information about the London campus?
Yes, yeah. So London, our London campus is situated literally right in the heart of the business district in London. It's mainly for business and fashion courses at the moment. I think it's 10 years old this year as well, so it's been running for quite some time. The entry requirements are virtually the same as they are at the main campus. The CU Coventry and CU London ones do have different entry requirements, and we also offer foundations at those campuses as well.
And do you know anything about the intakes in that campus?
So it depends. So CU London, there's an intake effectively every couple of months. So then we're currently in an intake. So November is one of those intakes, and then it's January, and then I think the one after that is March or June. Don't quote me on that, and I can't even check because my laptop has crashed. But we can run through you. I mean, EDMUNDO can support with that kind of thing as well. If you're really looking at CU Coventry, I'm pretty sure we've run quite a few intakes through the year. It's quite it's a varied.
So they all delivered courses starting more or less each month. Yeah. So you have courses starting in September, in November. You also have it in January, in February, in March. So yeah, it's possible to start a course there. Okay, but CU London is not Coventry University London campus. They are distinct places, distinct universities. Okay, CU London, yeah.
So I applied at Coventry University London to international business management, and I'm still waiting for a response. So I have to be there before January 1st.
Andre, when did you apply?
Last week.
Okay. There is currently a backlog of applications, partly because we had a system outage last week, and partly because we've got a lot of applications to process.
Oh, okay.
If you want, if you speak to your agent or speak to EDMUNDO and they can email me, or I can leave my email address at the end, and you can drop me an email. I will look into it for you. I can't promise you anything, but I'll definitely look into it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Can you give us your email address, please?
I can. I can't write it in the chat because, as I say, everything I have is frozen. Oh, no, I can. I'm back up. Right, hang on a second.
Yeah, I wanted to ask earlier if we can go to UK and stay there for our university period with our visas instead of our pre-settled status. Do we need them? Like, is it yeah.
Sorry, Isabella. Do you mean, do you want to come on a visa rather than on pre-settled status? Is that right?
Well, yes, because I just read that on pre-settled status you have to move to London. I don't know, it's complicated and
it is
don't quite understand. Yeah, and yeah.
Just bear with me a second. What I'm going to try and do, so my colleagues have sent me a video.
I mean, I think her question was basically if it's worth it to get the pre-settled status or not.
That's the kind of question that I can't tell you whether something's worth it or not, if I'm honest. It's all down to your personal preference. So I've just posted a video on there, which is the YouTube watch. I have to be honest, I haven't watched it myself, but it might just sum up or explain some of the points that I've been trying to make to you. To be honest, it is 100% your decision as to whether you join now or join later. Our view, of course, is that we want you to get, we would like to see you here for January if it's possible, because it gives you an opportunity to get your pre-settled status and obviously benefit from that fee reduction as well. It also allows you to work more than 20 hours per week, which will be the restriction if you are on a visa. And there are other restrictions on international students as well. It's more strict, I would argue, for an international student. There are much more rules and regulations that you have to follow, whereas for EU students, it is a little bit more relaxed.
I have a question, if I may. What would happen if the baccalaureate exams or the final exams were to be cancelled? How will the university accept EU students in that case?
Okay, good question. So obviously that happened to an extent this year, I believe. I don't think they were cancelled altogether, but I know some people were given advisory grades. It happened in the UK. It caused a lot of fuss here. We would take everything into account that you've got. It's likely that the grades would come out eventually, or you would receive something eventually, and we would assess that based on the time that it was being released. I know that happened in some countries this year, so it's something that we're now aware of and something that we would address at the time. I can't give you a definitive answer because it would depend on whether it affected everybody in Romania or just a small group of people, and we would have to give you an answer based on different factors, basically. But we would sort something out as well, I would say.
Thank you.
Can you tell me, I applied to Coventry University London for the condensed year. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Okay, so which London campus have you applied for?
What?
So that we have two. So we have Coventry University London campus, and we have CU
Coventry London campus.
London. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Andrea, you're probably better off dropping me an email, and one of the team or I can give you a call and we can have a chat with you.
Okay. Okay.
Because we need to make sure that we're talking about the right course. I need to make sure that I'm got some information about you and your course as well.
Okay, so I will email.
Yeah, drop me an email and we'll have a separate conversation at some point.
I have one more question, if I may,
Of course.
about some courses. Do you guys have acting or psychology or criminology?
We do have psychology and we do have criminology. I don't think we have acting anymore. We run lots of different media courses. So our media labs are actually in an old cinema in the university. They're about 5 minutes away from where we are here on campus. I don't think we run acting. We definitely run psychology. It's a very, very popular course. It's accredited by the British Psychological Society. We also run forensic psychology and criminology. I think we do criminology and psychology together. Don't quote me on that. Just to be clear on that as well, Gillivu, the course lists change, okay? So I don't know how old you are or what stage you are in your education, but just because you're 18, so just because we run it now doesn't mean we definitely will be next September. It's unlikely that we would not run psychology, but it's just to give you an idea of what we do and don't do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I got a question too. Can you hear me?
I can. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I have my pre-settled status, and I want to apply for the September intake. And when applying through UCAS, after applying, will the university require more documents in order to prove my pre-settled status, or having the pre-settled will be enough?
We would, as far as I'm aware, we would need to see evidence of your pre-settled status. Yeah.
Okay, so like a rental agreement will be enough? I mean, like to prove my address?
No, because your pre-settled status would be sufficient, I would think. We're not checking that you do live here. We're checking that you have got pre-settled status.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We should take a look again at the questions from
I'm
our
just
chat.
thinking now I can get onto them.
Okay. There are, Elena is asking us until when we can apply to get tuition fee loan. Are you talking about January intake, Elena, or September intake? Because
I want to do my master's degree for September. So I'm asking for September.
So you are there you are already in the UK and you want to apply for the tuition fee loan for a program that started in September 2020. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you start already your program in the UK?
For the next year, for 21st.
I don't think I heard you. So you want to know until when you can apply for a program that starts in September 2021. This is your question. Yeah, well, we talked already that it's more delicate, this topic, because basically what we know up to this point is that officially you don't get the loan anymore because, as Ben stated already, we have some issues that we have to cope with after the Brexit occurs. However, if I were to remember what happened last year, I think the deadline was 8 months after the beginning of the course. Okay, so that would be the, let's say, standard answer. Will I have pre-settled if, no, with pre-settled, will I pay the normal tuition fee? I think we already discussed this. What are the fees for you students starting after January 2021? How do we proceed with these student loans? So basically, we kind of covered this topic. I believe we made it more or less clear. If there are still inquiries to be done, I advise you to use the email Ben left you in the chat.
It's worth watching that video as well. Just to say, watch that video because it does sum up a lot of these questions that you're going to be having.
So there is a link Ben gave us in the chat. So basically, I myself saved it for later. So if we all, after this meeting ends, take a look on that link, basically we might have all the answers we may need. Okay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Amalia asks us, this is not necessarily a question about Coventry and how to apply, but my question is for you. How do you think the Brexit will affect UK's economy? Many European students won't choose UK anymore for studies. And if I may add, do you have a perspective in terms of part-time jobs? Because my students, for instance, no longer have jobs in the UK, basically these days, with everything going on there. Okay.
So I think there are probably two questions. How do you think the Brexit will affect UK's economy? I don't know. I really, really don't know. What do I think? I think there will be some uncertainty. Nobody really knows. Every time you turn on the news in the UK, somebody tells you something different. Nobody really knows for definite. I think it will depend on whether there is a deal to be done with Europe. But at the same time, that might well work in our favour. It might not. We've already signed up trade agreements with Japan, and there are likely to be others to follow. And the UK has weathered storms in the past, is what I would say, and it always bounces back. It's not a country that just sits on its laurels and sort of sits back and does not a lot. Even with COVID, which is probably the second part of this question, if we're honest, that's obviously had a massive effect on the UK's economy as well. We did see a reduction in our economy, but it's bounced back. You've asked about jobs as well. I personally think that people will, as soon as a vaccine is produced and is readily available, there will be a massive surge. I cannot wait. I cannot tell you how much I cannot wait to go out and have a drink or go out with my friends or go out shopping. Just simple things that have prevented students from having jobs. Retailers obviously had to close, restaurants have had to close, cinemas have had to close, and I think there will be a resurgence. So I think lots of people will want to get back to doing those things. And I think with that, there will be a new demand for people to fulfill those jobs, is what I would say. Certainly my hope, but I don't know. Yeah, and you've said that many Europeans won't choose the UK for studies anymore. I have to be honest, I probably disagree with that point, simply because everybody is going through the same sort of situation because of COVID that we are. Maybe not necessarily with Brexit on top, but we have a long history with Europe and with the EU, and it isn't going to change overnight. We are still going to have family and friends that live in EU and Europe, and the UK has a long history of education as well. Some of the first universities were in the UK. We teach at a quality and a level that is different, very different, and much higher, I would argue, than some of the countries around the world. And because of that, there will always be students wanting to come to the UK. Whether they can afford to do so or not, without the loan, will be a different conversation. And I think that's probably what's going to change people's minds more than anything. But our quality and our strive for education and educating as many people as possible isn't going to change. I hope that's answered the question, although I think it was probably 2 or 3 questions.
Okay. Anka asks us, some of us still have to take our back in June. How do we go about settling and applying for a UK university before May? So if we are talking about an application, this is easy to be done. If it's a master application, you do it on the portal of the university. If it's a undergraduate university, you do it on UCAS, okay? If you are talking about the pre-settled status application, you need to go only for this in the UK, and you have to do it, you have to do this trip until the end of December, okay? What we need for admission, this is another question. It depends. If you apply to an undergraduate program, you need an essay and a letter of recommendation. If you apply to a master, you need these 2 elements too, ID scanned plus another recommendation letter plus CV, I believe, and also a transcript from your university. Okay. Can we still apply for January 2021? Yeah, you can still apply for programs that start in January, at least at Coventry. I know this is the thing.
Can I just put in there, I would actively encourage absolutely anybody that can apply for January 2021 to do so, okay? If you are thinking about putting it off to September 21, but are unsure, I would certainly look at January 2021 as an option.
So if I start my studies in the January intake now, I can start my 2nd year in September?
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, that was an easy question.
Okay. Well, I am a student in 1st year at a university in London. Currently, I'm in Romania because of the whole pandemic. If I arrive in the UK after January 1st, will it make a difference in my fees and my visa application? Well, you don't need a visa because I suppose, isn't it, Ben? She is in her 1st year already, so basically
yeah,
she goes with the old.
She should be eligible. Yeah, I would think. I wouldn't say for certain because I don't know which university it is, but as far as I'm aware, the fees should remain. If you're currently enrolled as a student, the fees will remain. As far as I'm aware, if you then chose to do a master's afterwards, you would be eligible for EU fees, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so it would be worth checking that nearer the time for you as well.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Can I ask something else? Also about my pre-settled application, I have to do it before January 1st, right? So I have to go to the UK by January 1st and apply for a pre-settled. All right.
Yes. We are actively encouraging students not to study online and to come and join us on campus. I don't know where you are in London, but that's Coventry University's view of things.
I study at University of Westminster, London.
Okay. Somebody has to. But yeah, I mean, they will advise you on what they think is best. But to be honest, our view is that where possible, you come and live on campus, or at least in the UK. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, if I want to apply for a master degree for September 2021, what do I have to do? If I apply before 31st of December, am I still eligible for the tuition fee loan? Yes. So basically, I think we should talk to Elena in private.
Yeah,
somehow,
I was going to say, because I think what she's asking is not what she's asking.
Yeah.
But
I will try to come to you, Elena, in private and talk about your situation. Diana asks us, does Student Awards Agency for Scotland still cover the tuition fees for students starting after 2021? So she's speaking about SAS.
I have absolutely no idea. The Student Loan Council in Scotland is separate to the UK, as far as I'm aware. Coventry doesn't have any campuses in Scotland, unfortunately. So I couldn't honestly tell you. Google it, you'll find the answer pretty quickly. I honestly don't know for certain.
I'd advise you to just contact them, because I know they are also on Facebook. They have an official Facebook page.
They'll also have a website which will tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I think it's easier for them to just write a message there on Facebook and basically ask them on written what they need to find out. But even so, Elena, sorry, not Elena, Diana, you can always call them, because I suppose they answer all requests also via phone. So basically, you can ask them this, okay? Because it's very specific, and basically Coventry is in a part of the United Kingdom where Scotland is not. Okay.
It's part of the UK, but it's not part of the England. There is a weird difference, but yeah, it's
Yeah. Amalia asks us again, are there any bursaries or financial support for living costs for EU students?
Okay, so we are offering a discount of I think it's 15% on fees for EU students who are joining us in January 2021. I can't confirm, because I just don't know whether there are going to be any further support for other intakes. We usually release that a few months in advance of each intake. Because we have 3, it's difficult for us we won't know until a few weeks before or a few weeks after the intake that's just gone by.
Okay. I think she refers to the maintenance loan, but I'm not pretty sure.
If it's maintenance loan, then no, I don't think so, no.
Do you know the fees for September 2021? This was already answered. Will Brexit affect entry requirements to UK university, the terms and conditions of admission?
I'm just going to answer Gregor's first, because I think what he's asking is whether we know exactly what the fees will be. So the fees for September 2021, whether they're international or EU, will be set later on in the year. But the actual fee for each course won't be set until a few months before, and that will be included in your offer letter. Whether it affects entry requirements to UK universities, the terms and conditions, it's likely that universities will look differently at entry requirements. We review ours every year, and as part of that review, we ensure that we're getting the right students onto the right courses. So we will be reviewing ours this year as normal, and I assume that other universities will be doing the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Back to Irina's question. Will Brexit affect entry requirements to UK universities?
Sorry, that was what I was just answering then. Sorry. Yes, I think it will. I think that, so Coventry reviews theirs on a yearly basis. We review them to ensure that we're getting the right students coming through. I do think there will be some changes to entry requirements, yes. What they will look like, I honestly couldn't tell you. The terms and conditions, again, I honestly wouldn't know whether they would change or not. That's something that you'd have to look at as an individual when you make your application.
Okay. I am in the 12th grade. There is the possibility to apply at university in the UK. I don't have the language test given yet. Yes, it's possible to apply. You can take the test, IELTS, Cambridge, TOEFL, or simple interview via phone. I know at Coventry University this is accepted, and basically you will apply and fulfill this entry requirement regarding the English part until the end of summer, probably until the end of July. Okay. I think Grigore was asking us the email, but you already posted it there. I am currently in for a bachelor's degree in Romania, but I want to apply for a master's degree in the UK. Is it hard, difficult to apply in such a way, or do I need UK bachelor's degree? No, you don't really need a British bachelor's degree. A Romanian bachelor's degree is fine. And the application is not that difficult. You need, once again, to fill in your information on a portal and add ID scanned, transcript from the university, proof that you have a certain grade in your bachelor's examination, final exam, okay, if you have it. After that, English test, 2 recommendation, 1 personal statement, and 1 CV, okay, your CV. If we can't adjust, can we return to studies in Romania? Yes, of course, you can. But please be aware of the fact that you need to talk to the university about the withdrawal and also to student finance, especially to student finance, okay?
What I would say on that point is there is an awful lot of support put in from all universities. Coventry support system is second to none, I'm not going to lie. I know the team that work in there, I've worked with them closely for for the whole period I've worked here, and they are incredibly supportive. We have drop-in sessions. You can book to come and see someone. There's a Romanian society as well, so there's plenty of opportunities for you to adjust.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question. Sorry for interrupting. In order to apply for a university in London or UK, do I really need an exam, Cambridge or something like that? Or that...
If you apply to Coventry University London campus, you don't need this kind of official exam because you will have a phone interview, and that will be what they need from the admissions office, what they need in order to assess your English competences, okay? So basically, specifically for Coventry, you will be accepted based on an interview via phone or
the back diploma with B2.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she's talking about master, I believe, don't you, Denisa?
I didn't understand. Can you repeat, please?
You are applying to a master at Coventry University, or you want to apply to a master, don't you?
I don't really know right now.
Okay. What kind of bills we need for pre-settled status to prove address? A bill from Mazda is enough? No, this is not enough. You need a contract stating that you have accommodation booked or a place where you actually are going to live or have lived. Okay.
As much as would be interested to see what you bought from Asda, it probably wouldn't help you much.
Okay. Amalia also adds, you need to prove your address in UK for the pre-settled status, so you need a utility bill, a council tax, a letter from university with your address on it. Okay. Great. I think more or less all the questions have been answered. Another one here. So for students who start the course in September 2021, the government loan isn't possible, right? We hope, so officially it's not, but we hope we will manage to find a solution, but we still need some confirmations here, okay? Can we still apply for January 2020? Yes, you can. Any advice for 2022 students? Any advice?
Do the best that you can do is what I would say. Focus on your current studies. Make sure that you do what you can do. I mean, the thing is, all of this is subject to change, and there is always potential for things to change in the future. we know that in other countries, local or internet or national banks are offering student loans in place of the UK loans. I don't know whether they're eligible or on offer in Romania yet, but I would say watch this space, because once one country in the EU does it, it will be very likely that others will do the same. As I say, focus on your course at the moment, make sure that you're doing the best you can, and then you'll be in a better position to apply in the future.
Okay. I have this question. If I finished high school and I wish to apply in January for courses starting September 2021, and I can get my pre-settled status before 21st of December, can I apply for the tuition fee loan? So you have, Leonardo, you have finished high school, yeah, in June or July 2020. You can apply to January. You have to apply to pre-settled status until the 31st of December, and you will get a loan for a program that starts in January 2021. Okay. And you will pay normal fee as it was mentioned here. Okay. I have a question. In order to apply in 2022, do I have to enroll in a program in 2021? No, you don't really need to enroll, because you can't. I think you are more or less 2 years before your baccalaureate exam, aren't you, Gabriela? Okay. Where are we going to live if we move to the UK? Are we going to rent an apartment? Can we get jobs in the meantime from January to September?
Denise, I think you might have misunderstood here. In the September, you won't be eligible for the loan. So you'd have to work out whether that's going to be beneficial for you. If you have pre-settled status, as we've said, you can work. I can't tell you how many jobs or whether there are going to be positions available, but you could work if that was your intention.
Okay. Is it harder to find a job as an international student in Scotland? I can't really answer.
No, no, I'm going to answer that. Yes, I'd say it is. Yeah, come to Coventry. Don't go to Scotland. It's cold, very, very cold. No, honestly, I don't know. Some cities. So Coventry is a very international, very diverse city, and we have a lot of students. So we have a lot of opportunity for students to work in retail and sales and in restaurants and that kind of thing, and lots of other different jobs. There's an Amazon warehouse sorting warehouse here that a number of our students work in, as well as local stuff as well. So some places will be, you might find it easier. If you went to a smaller city or went to a place where there aren't a lot of students, you might find it more difficult to get a job, but I honestly couldn't tell you either way.
Okay, and I think this is the last question we have here. Are there any universities that are accepting the Cambridge exam? Every university from the UK actually accepts the Cambridge exam. You have to take the CAE, the Cambridge Advanced English exam, and you will be able to use it in your application. Okay. Yeah, I think this is more or less everything. Oh, there are 2 questions more. I would like to apply for the January-February 2021 admissions. If I can provide a proof of address, do I still need to go physically to the UK before the end of 2020 in order to acquire the pre-settled status? So she applies to a master starting in January 2021. And she asks you if she still needs to go there physically.
I honestly don't know for certain on that, because it's, I honestly don't know. You would need to check with the Home Office is what I would say, or check on the Home Office's website, because I honestly don't know.
Okay. Yes, CAE is available for entry in every university from the UK, Denisa. What are the main elements that you are looking for in an application, and what could make the difference between applicants?
So that is a really good question, actually. So Coventry looks at applications as a whole. So we call it a holistic approach. So we look at your work experience, your personal statement, your qualifications, and we try and match who you are against the courses that we offer. So there isn't necessarily a difference between one or the other because everybody is treated very differently. And there is an opportunity for students to sort of prove themselves as an individual rather than as a group.
Okay, great. And when do you think it's the best time to start working with an educational counselor to apply to an university in the UK? Well, it depends, Elisa. If you want to go for an undergraduate program, you should start, let's say, between the 11th and 12th grade in that holiday, in that summer holiday. Okay, if you want to go for a master, you can apply, you can contact us whenever you want. Please keep in mind that there are some masters that have a certain deadline. Okay, so
Eliza, what I would say on that is the earlier the better. Simple as that, really.
okay. Can I easily find a job as a puppeteer in the UK? I've got like 5 years experience, or photographer. I would like to have a job that I enjoy to pay my rent and stuff. So, well, part-time jobs are very interesting in the UK for students, or at least this is what I knew it was the case. Can you comment on this?
I've never met a puppeteer, if I'm absolutely honest. I don't know about being a puppeteer. I honestly don't know, because that's quite a specific job. It's probably not something that you'd find a job doing very easily, if I'm honest. Photography, you'd have to be quite a specific kind of photography to get a part-time job in that kind of thing. A lot of people do freelance. I know my partner and I got engaged in Rome, for example. We used a local photographer through Airbnb, and they took photos for us. You could offer that as a service or something similar. We have a beautiful cathedral here where you graduate, and people, you could take photos on graduation day, that kind of thing. Part-time jobs in Coventry, generally, jobs will depend on lots of different factors. Depends on you, your work experience, your work ethic as well, because some people will tell other people that there aren't any jobs, whereas actually there are jobs, they just don't want to be doing them, and that's the difference.
Okay.
And obviously you have to ensure that that job fits around your work, your university life as well.
Could you tell me something about computer science, game engineering courses at Coventry University? You know, Alexandra, I advise you to watch Coventry University's YouTube channel. You have their testimonials from students that come from these departments, and I believe they are quite good. But of course, Ben can also tell you.
I can, but Alexandra, it's probably best if you drop me an email, just because of the time, and I'm conscious that you guys will want to get off.
Okay. The last
so drop me an
question,
email. We can always try and send you some photos and some images. Have a look at the course pages as well. That's where we get most of our information. So they're a really, really useful resource.
After 1st of January 2021, it would cost a lot more to go to the university in the UK. Do you think for the 2022 generation it will be less expensive?
I don't think it will. No, I think it. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, things could change, but I don't see the cost coming back down, back to the EU level.
Okay. So that would be all, yeah, for today. I hope it was useful. All the questions have been answered. But if you need more info, please write us down. You can always write an email to us, and we will be there to answer you. If you want to say something, Ben,
thank you. Just say thank you for sticking with it, because I appreciate that it's been quite a long presentation. My email is in the chat somewhere as well. So if you do want to reach out with any questions and queries, it might be that I can't answer all of them and that I signpost you, but thank you for listening, and thanks to Edmundo really for supporting and bringing so many of you guys in. Really good questions, which is always good. I'm sorry I couldn't answer all of them, but hopefully we will be able to give you some more information in the future. Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice evening, everybody, and we'll keep in touch.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.